Rams fans, good morning. Happy Monday. It is not a victory Monday, unfortunately, as the LA Rams drop into 2-1 after a comeback win by the Philadelphia Eagles. Very unfortunate game, how it all went, especially how high we were all riding, so early in that one. But either way, we're here to talk about it, talk about what we saw. And I am Sheriff. Joining me is Tuna. This is Tuna and the Sheriff. What up, man?
Well, happy not victory Monday.
Yeah, it's
What
lame.
I would I saw a tweet that I agree with. Man, I wish Saquon just ran for 400 yards, 6 touchdowns. I'd rather just lose like that, to be honest.
Hell no. Hell no, man. In fact, I would say too, like as much bad as we did see, especially in that second half and later in the game, mainly that one drive that Philly had. It was like sitting there and I was like watching the game. It was like the only thing we can't have right now is like them to just blow this clock and keep a long drive all the way down for the end zone. That's exactly what happened. But for as much bad as we did see, I think there was more good that we saw, honestly. And had essentially a 1 point game. I mean, obviously the score is different, but a 1 point game from a team like Philadelphia in their house, I think is actually, I don't know. I guess I'm more okay with it than I maybe should be because two blocked kicks, and if without those, the Rams win the game. I think so. I don't know. I guess I think that there is understandably some not happy Rams fans, but I think that ultimately what I'm saying is like it's September. You can't win or lose a Super Bowl. I know this is a game we're going to talk back on, and especially when standings start really mattering and stuff like that. We're going to look back on this one, but there's nothing we can change about it now. And I think that we at least learned a lot about our team. The team learned a lot about themselves, is really what I'm trying to say. And I think that ultimately we kind of take this experience and it helps us in the later months. We needed to hit, I think, that second half adversary. Um, yeah, and then we got an indie team coming this week. Obviously, we'll get into that later as the week goes on. But I think that there's a lot of positives to take from this game, as unfortunate as it ended.
I think the main frustration for me is in two areas, like for how because there's 100 overly positive things, like how amazing defense looked in the first half.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of the big hits, Take McCullough, Jared Verse, like on Jalen Hurts, Quentin Lake. Like I can't wait to watch the film on him because I think he had a
Yeah,
phenomenal game. How many PBUs he had, how many tackles he had. He looked at times he looked like the smartest DB, not just on the team, but like in the game, which is saying a lot because Eagles do have some talented young guys as well. Um, I think the frustration is when you see a lack of follow through in the red zone. I mean, it's the same conversation that we seem to have every single year, where it's like McVay is great except for one area. He gets it's a little funny sometimes. But in this case, it may have just been execution. I don't know how much of play calling it is on a lot of those issues. And the other frustrating part is that you don't expect sloppiness on something like special teams blocking that'll really, lose a
yeah.
game for you out of a McVay team. Like you expect get beat out, like like just someone being better than you. But I'm sorry, like even down to high school football, like extra point blocking, like stay lower. And for it to happen twice, that's incredible. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I think ultimately with that second blocked kick too, right at the end of the game, because it was what a 44-yard attempt. I felt so good about it, and that's because they blocked the previous one. The reason I felt so good about that kick was because they had blocked that one, and I kind of thought it was like, well, Chase Blackburn's no dummy. He's going to see what happened and make whatever adjustments. But then they busted through again. I know that everybody, like, there's a lot of people saying we need to, cut Alex Ward and stuff like that, which I just think is an overreaction. It's just a quick,
It's
jump
not
ball.
Alex Ward. That
But
there's so much misinformation going out there. It's not the center. It's not the
yeah,
center's responsibility at
well,
all.
he certainly did not do his job, but also the left guard more so did not do his job. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but I mean
Yeah.
everybody's responsible on that field, all 11. You know what I mean? Like it Evans is is responsible. You know what I mean? Like they're all responsible. The play
Yeah.
didn't work, and then we got scored on top of it. So I mean, yeah, I think that ultimately the way I kind of see that game is you got to be able to close that out, especially the way you performed in the first half. And
Mhm.
Also, I think this is something that I've said, I think almost every week, and the other weeks it's been in a win, but also those guys get paid too. And they're also a really, really good football team. They're really well coached. They're very, um, they're just efficient, and we didn't do
Mm.
enough to put them away. And you started seeing that in the second half. And it was one of those too where as it was happening, it was like, man, we really need to put up at least some more here, man, because they're gonna come back on this. And it's exactly what happened, obviously. But yeah, I think that ultimately what I'm looking at here is I think that the Rams defense played really, really good ball. I mean, there was some tight situations that they got put in. I thought that we were going to start to see the tush push get called closer. That wasn't the thing. Oh, well. Stuff like that, man. There's a lot of weird calls in that one, a lot of weird throws by Matthew Stafford. So I don't want to put it all on the refs or anything like that. Like, we definitely beat ourselves in that game, and just not closing it out. But yeah, there was we know we're good for at least one Stafford throw a game where you're like, what the hell was that? But we had multiple this time, and that was rough, especially when you're playing against a team like the Eagles, man. But ultimately, I hate to say it this way because it's a loss and all that, but I think that the Rams played so well that I'm excited for the rest of the season. And I know that that's not the standard thought process right now in Rams fans' heads because we lost that game, but I feel if we can compete in Philly against Philly, I mean, there's no other team in this league right now that I think that we can't stand toe to toe to, and you just got to do it when time comes.
No, it was cool to watch them do that because we've known that sentiment that how good they are and can be.
Hmm.
Um, looks like right now it's in spurts across the board. The defense did play well, like because even in that second half, there was only that one drive where they had two back to back big passes. They scored the first touchdown. Where
Yeah.
it's just like hey, they're gonna make it a game, and then they get another stop, and then they go down the field again. They outside that one drive, there wasn't like a huge breakdown in gap responsibility in coverage for the most part. Like I said, even down to what was it, like 6 minutes left, 8 minutes left? Like they stopped us on fourth down, and then we turned around and stopped them on fourth down.
Yeah.
I was like, it was there enough times, and literally all you needed was the offense for one time to punch it in the end zone,
Yeah.
and that's why Stafford I think looked so dejected at himself in the post game presser is
Hmm.
because that's his job. You brought Adams here to do just that.
Yeah.
You guys are leaning on the run game, this and that. I don't want to hear it. Hey, Dotson's out. Ah, you guys stack the offensive line worrying about this because you were worried about guys' health. So here we are. Vaco's got to deliver, and frankly, they just didn't. A positive though from that defense, dude. Saquon Barkley had nowhere to go
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
entire game. That
Rams
was
played
cool.
the hell out of Barkley. That was really, really good to see. There was a lot of positives, like I said, to take away from this game, man. It's obviously a win. Like, it's disappointing me that we didn't pull that out, especially the way it all happened. But I don't know. I just feel really good about it. I mean, there was a couple of the keys to my victory. You know what I mean? Which was time of possession. Ran 29-25 in that one. So close to, to winning time of possession. We're right there. We're almost 50-50 split with Philadelphia.
Yeah,
We didn't let them get into many situations. I know we did see it, but we didn't allow them to get into many third and short, fourth and short situations. We were stopping those plays in the early downs and forcing to third and five, a fourth and five, situations like that where they didn't have the opportunity to just push their butts around. So you gotta love that. You gotta love that the defense was largely doing their job for the most part. I mean, obviously that one drive is such a killer, and that's exactly what
yeah.
we didn't need. But I mean, I still, like I said, there's so much positive to take away. I think I'm just like in more sense of like I'm just proud of this team for the way that they played, man. Obviously, you hate to see that second half go that way, but there's so many good things, man. Jared Verse finally getting in there. Tank absolutely blast. Our Jalen's better than yours kind of move. That was so badass, man. Like, yeah, there was I don't know, man. I guess I'm feeling better than most Rams fan. Than the average Rams fan, I'm feeling still pretty sick actually. So I don't know.
No, in the grand scheme of things, like it's not a yeah. There's some people that are calling for guys getting cut, this and that. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. You don't go undefeated. I think you're overreacting because of the heartbreaking nature of the loss, which is understood. But once the beers from yesterday, settle in your system for a lot of you folks, it's gonna be okay. Um, I'm really interested to watch the film back again and kind of see some decisions in that red zone on like why stuff didn't work.
Yeah.
Mainly because the run game was so dominant, but then all of a sudden we just kind of don't force the issue
Mhm.
once we get inside the 20. It's like, hey, like the state, like they had 154 yards rushing or so between Corum and Williams. Something's working, like, and there wasn't like one big gain. Both Corum and Williams had long runs of 13 and 12 yards. So it's like, hey, you want to keep, you know, keep handing it to these guys. Um, the other thing I do want to say, because obviously having your kicks blocked is gonna screw with you. I do hope that doesn't fuck with Cardi's mentality because of how ice he has been, not just in the season, but in that game, he was 4 for 4 going
Yeah.
into that
I wouldn't
fourth
think so.
quarter.
Those kicks came off real
And
nice. It was just the blocking.
yeah, and he may be the best kickoff specialist in the league.
He is
How many
incredible, dude.
how many times did the Eagles start their possession inside their own 15 because
Yeah.
the returners could not figure out how to recover his knuckleballs? Like it was, I've never seen that efficiency before. Like he had a lights out game.
You're
Yeah,
absolutely
the
right.
protection really let him down today from having an all time Rams kicking game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because that would have, especially with paired in with the way that those kicks were going, if he would have went 6 for 6, I mean, special teams player of the week, like you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
he's in all of that. I actually want to look up the Colts coaching staff. Their special team coordinator has quite the journey this week, and I know we'll get into that later, but quite the journey this week on prepping for Cardi's kickoffs, man. So I'm excited for that. That's gonna be really fun.
Watch him just switch back to Ethan Evans on kickoff and just boot it to the back of the end zone every
All right.
time.
Brian
No,
Mason, 17 years of experience.
Ryan Mason's. Another thing I do want to bring up outside of special teams is the officiating.
Yeah.
I made that post where kind of questioning, how much leverage did you get on the back of Alex Ward's back? You pressing off the center there. It is negligible. It is really on the left guard. I think where my my issues with the refereeing on both sides, because let's be frank, like touchdowns for both teams came off PIs.
Yeah.
I thought Devontae Adams was way better at
Will
concealing
Sell
it,
was D
pressing
Will
off
did
low. It was
a hell of a job trying to sell that one, but didn't get the call. He shouldn't have done that. He
yeah,
should have just played the ball.
yeah, yeah, and then the whatchamacallit, even on his touchdown, like he pushed off.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
pretty clear as day. But then we get karma because AJ Brown clearly pushes off, and I don't care what Eagles fans say.
I
He
don't
pushed
know.
off. He extended.
I mean, no,
Um,
D Will can't do that, man. You got to play the ball. Don't try to flop like that. You play the ball.
I agree.
He barely got
I
pushed, man.
agree.
You
I
play the
agree.
damn ball.
I agree. But he
That
did
one,
get
unfortunately.
pushed. Like it was
Sure, but
to the same.
stop flailing
This,
around and play the damn ball. Like, come on, man.
no, I don't disagree. But at the same time, like it went both ways. I think the other one that frustrates me is with the taunting penalty that Puka had.
That was tough.
Like because stuff like that's happening on game. The guys are jawing back and forth. Like you're seeing reality what unsportsmanlike is through the game. You flagged other guys are already so far at this point in the game.
Mm-hmm.
The officiating's job, like when your homework, what you do when you come into NFL games is player tendencies. Hey, watch out for this. Point of emphasis on this, guys. So Puka Nacua is not a taunting type guy. Like
Yeah.
your awareness for calling penalties for a Jalen Carter is different from a Puka Nacua,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what his celebration is. And he does a celebration. Unfortunately, that guy is still on the ground. He's not standing over him. He does the same thing, and then
Every
calling a penalty in a situation like that. No, it raises questions like, why are you calling that now, right when the game is close? Like when you could have done it 5 other times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that bothers me because in the same way, I'm on record. I hate poor officiating. There are points of emphasis too. Until you can tell me what a catch is as a referee with consistency, leave taunting and shit alone because you guys are terrible at this. And it goes for every team.
Yeah, I definitely agree, but I also take the mindset of just like, I don't know, complaining about any reffing on either side is it's yeah, you're just You're trying to punch through a brick wall at that point. Like you're just gonna do more damage to yourself than than your target, you know. So it's one of
Yeah,
those where it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, definitely it sucks. And that penalty was absolutely bogus, especially he does that every first down, flex, point. That's just a thing. The ball spin, I guess it was a little too close to the eagle. Like, all right, let's chill out
it's
on
so
that.
dumb.
But then I think
Yes.
the one that bothered me the most was the one that he didn't get when he hit that out route and was clearly held on the play and nothing there. That was the one that bothered me, I think, a little
Yeah.
bit more because the taunting one is like one of those where it's like it's such a judgment call too, and it's like the ref could have just been like just frustrated, I guess, for a play. And just like, no, this is bull crap, you know, like, and I just hate that. So
And my rule is don't leave it in the hands of two people, referees and kickers.
mm-hmm.
Don't leave it in the hands of them. Um,
Yeah.
so no, that's exactly what the Rams did. They left it in the hands of some uncertains that you can't game plan for, unfortunately, and that's not
Mhm.
good. The I don't know how much of it is play calling though. I'll be real because think of how many times they actually had opportunities. The Devontae Adams drop in the end zone.
Mhm.
Matthew Stafford had at least 3 overthrows where it's just like, hey, I expect that out of like Spencer Rattler, not Matthew Stafford. And it wasn't, oh, I was pressured, I was getting hit while I was throwing. He just overthrew it.
Yeah,
Um,
that
yeah,
one to
Tay in the
bring
end
hurt,
zone,
man.
that was brutal.
That's
And then the I know Devontae Adams drop in the end zone. It hit his hands. That wasn't a good placement. Like you're putting
yeah.
the ball right at the back of the DB, and so where Devontae has to work through a defensive back.
Mhm.
As a quarterback, you know you can't place it there. It needs to be high and away a little bit more if you're throwing back shoulder. Um, yeah, execution really let them down in the brightest moments. I will say that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then it sucks too because, like, I mean, with how good the defense played, I mean, there was a few there. I'm thinking that touchdown where it looked like Landman and Spates were in the same area and then getting beat right over the top of them. So that's
Yeah,
like, oh, something happened there. Not sure what. We may be able to find out by looking at the tape. We may not though, as far as who is actually responsible for being there or
yeah,
what happened. So, and that's the thing with watching tape, and especially for the defensive side, is that sometimes the offensive play dictates a way where you don't know what the defensive call is because obviously if you call a cover three, you're trying to send 3 dudes deep and it's a run play, you may not get that on tape that guy was supposed to actually be covering the end zone because he instead came in and run support, you know? So it's one of those where we may not be able to figure it out. It's possible that we can see something where it's like, oh, that should have been this, but either way, that one was a heartbreaker because that one was like we've been playing better than this all day. Like, what the hell are we doing now? So yeah, just but you know, ground game was running, man. I like to see that. I think that we went away from it a little too quick. I know that 20 carries for Kyron is that's hefty, and 8 for Blake, but I almost feel like that was like a 35-yard or a 35 carry kind of game. Like we needed to keep hitting that. So
or just feed it to. I mean, Corum's right there. Corum was running really well as
that's what I'm
well.
saying is both of them, like a 35 carry game total. Like it shouldn't have been 28. I think we needed to bump that up a little more. We needed more carries.
Yeah, man. Trying to look at my notes here. See what else I had. That young defense, man. They got after it.
Love to
I
see it.
know them missing their lap tackle, Lane Johnson, really early in the game.
Yeah,
Does not help their cause at all. But clearly
yeah,
they figured something out in the second half, especially the fourth quarter, because again, I felt like no matter what Shula was throwing at him, it broke down to my player at the wide receiver position is better than your player at DB. They did enough just to like in every critical spot, third down, long second downs, got to have it type of first downs. They went to AJ Brown. He beat Manuel Forbes and him went back and forth.
mm,
AJ Brown having the better day, obviously, but Darius Williams scares me. He did not have a great day whatsoever, and I don't really know how you address it moving forward because man coverage is one of those things where it kind of sometimes is like, can you get better? It's just mano a mano. Like, what's your water level? How much water can you hold in man? Zone you can hide stuff, but yeah, man is it's just skill on skill.
Yeah, I think that'll be matchup by matchup though, especially because I mean, obviously we got AJ Brown, who is one of the top targets in the league, despite
Yeah,
numbers that kind of would say otherwise, or like that he's not killing it, but he can go head to head against any corner this week. I mean, kind of switching it to I don't want to go indie coverage here yet, but like I mean, still a tough matchup. It'll be a different kind of matchup against another undefeated team coming in Rams' second home game. But that's I think that Williams is better suited to look better against Indy than he was Philly. And also, we didn't really have any tape on Philly's pass game. So I think it was hard for any corner to come into this game and kind of try to pick up tendencies or anything like that, considering, I mean, last week Jalen Hurts had 101 yards, and so now,
yeah.
I mean, Brown coming in this week, 109 receiving yards, average 18.1. I mean, he was playing ball, man. I mean, that's one of those where you got to be able to kind of hold a guy like that down, and we certainly weren't. Obviously, that's an unfortunate drop there for the Rams. If Akella was playing, maybe it's a little bit of a different story, but I will never know
Oh yeah.
that. But
Well, I mean, we know the matchup would be different. Akella would be matched up on AJ Brown just because they do like that physicality. Like they'd be the same size. So at least you got you're tipping the scales in your favor a little bit that way. But I don't want to take that away from how the defense in general performed. I was thoroughly impressed with a lot of areas. Obviously the pass rush game. I'm curious to see what the pressure rate was like.
yeah,
I forgot what was the number of sacks anyways on it. It looks like the good stuff.
so we got 4 on Jalen, 1 on Stafford.
Yeah, 4 sack, like winning the sack battle. I thought that would be a turning point where like it decides who wins, which is insane to me. Um, I think at one point after a few drives, Jalen Hurts had like negative 12 yards passing
Yeah,
in the first quarter.
yeah,
Um, and I mean, when did they go deep? There was that one drive where they
yeah.
scored their first touchdown, but when did they, or their second touchdown, but when did they go
That's
deep? It was
that's
frustrating watching guys get beat on hitches.
Yeah, I mean, that's Shula, though. That's Shula for you. Kind of keep everything in front of you. Let your pass rush do some stuff. Keep your eyes on the ball by being in a zone. Don't let them get behind you, and
Hmm.
be able to see your receiver and the quarterback at the same time. Try to make a play when you can. Obviously didn't pan out as far as like pick sixes or anything like that. But I think that ultimately, man, yeah, it's the defense played great, and credit to the opponent, man. I mean, it's one of those respect your opponent things. Philadelphia is obviously good. I said it on my pregame stream that I don't think that this is more of a rematch of the divisional round, more of a pre-match for whatever playoff game happens this year. And I kind of stand by that. And I think that having this game happen in week 3, obviously by the time playoffs roll around, it's going to be ancient history. But I think that this is the way that I feel coming out of that game is if we have to play them again later this year, I feel good about it. I think that that's kind of where I'm at. We know we can not only go toe to toe with them, but we can smack them around a little bit. We just got to be able to close it out. So I feel okay about it if we got to face this team again in January.
Just annoyed.
Yeah.
Just
What
finish
about
the
my,
game out.
my Packers buddy? We were at the bar watching. They lost to the Browns, obviously, and he had a line that I actually really loved. I was gonna say it here. It's like, yo, you can't go 15-2 without dropping a couple. That's fine. Like, like
Yeah, I
all right.
mean, it is better than not losing to like the New Orleans Saints or something. Knock on wood. I really
Yeah.
hope they
In
away
fairness,
that game when it happens.
I said that to him. I was like, yeah, but you guys lost to the Browns. Like, it's different.
Yeah, I saw that. That was incredible. I want to get back to Quentin Lake though.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal throughout the day. Did he get beat? No, that was Forbes on the touchdown. He had 4 defenses, pass breakups. Really, really well timed ones. The one that he had both hands on that he jumped from underneath,
Yeah.
the deep ball should have had a pick.
Yeah.
That would have been his first interception of his career. So he's still looking for that. And
Crazy.
yeah, he had a pair that were back to back. I think it was like first down, second down, pass breakups. It's like, damn, like he is all over the field right now. And then in that same drive, I think there was a swing pass to Saquon on the left side. And that was one of my worries. It's like, all right, they finally got him in space, just one-on-one,
Yeah.
and Quentin Lake closed, and he did not leave that little pocket. Like, you got that little window where it's like you're right in front of him. Just stay upright, stay in your feet, stay in front of him. Just
Yeah.
wait for your team to rally. He did not let Saquon like fool him with any move, and he just stayed there for a 1 yard gain. And it was like that was really impressive.
That was, man. Lake had a really good day. Verse had a really good day. Puna, I think, had his best day as a Ram so far. Is there a dog? Is there? Nice.
Always dogs. There's always dogs.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, I think there. I mean, and again, I have not done my rewatch yet, so I haven't like gone through and like figured out exactly where it all went wrong, kind of thing, but I think that my brain still is very in tune with what was going right in the first half, which was bottling up that run on first and second down, forcing them into third and long situations. We had like 4 or 5 straight 3-and-outs. Absolutely love that. I think if you can take that kind of energy, that kind of intensity, and push that into, at least into these next, was it 4 games before the bye week, I'm feeling still pretty good. We got Indy, San Fran, and then we're in Baltimore and then in London to take on the Jags, and then the bye week. After that, the schedule lightens up, man. Like, we just got to don't die before the bye, and then
Man, what a
be able to
schedule.
put it together. So yeah, man.
Yeah, no,
This
this
is
is
our
this
tough
is
spot here. Like, we're in it right now. We dropped one in a crazy ending and stuff like that, and I think everybody kind of acknowledges that was a crazy ending. That the Rams were just one person being blocked away from winning the game. You know what I mean? So I think that we're doing fine. But this is a tough stretch we're in right now. Who knew that the Colts were good, by the way? So that's gonna be fun.
they always seem to be like, hey, can we just get a competent quarterback to just not throw?
Yeah. Daniel Jones
the
is
ball
out here
50 yards of play?
exhausted, so they're gonna do fine, man. Like,
dude, like he's actually out here, Indiana Jones, looking really good.
yeah.
So trying to make a positive spin on this, it took that they had to block a field goal twice just to beat us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just to beat the Rams, they had to do. Yeah, that was. I've never seen that before in my life. I think that's why I'm in shock. Like I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's one of those where we'll definitely look back on this game as like, oh man, but if that kick doesn't get blocked, it was only a 44-yard attempt. That's something Cardi hits, and I don't know. I haven't looked at it enough to kind of judge whether I think it was on the trajectory of going in, but yeah, that's
Doesn't
a tough
matter.
one, man. And that's the thing too, is it like, yeah, we'll look back on this game, but like either way, now it's done. It's over. Like it ended. We lost. On to the Colts, dude. That's like I post the same thing after every single Rams game, win or lose. Is I post our record and then I say on to whatever is our next opponent. That's the same thing I've done for years. And so it's like, hey, 2-1, on to the Colts. What up, Colts? Like, that's all it is, man. You just got to keep on playing, man. So yeah, it's an unfortunate loss, but we can't just sit here and dwell on it. And I hope that, like, because I see Rams fans I know Rams fans, man, this is certainly a possibility that everybody just sits here and sulks for a little while, but hopefully the team's not doing that. We're sitting in that locker room ready to kick some Colts ass, man.
No, they're the vibe I got from the post game conversations.
Yeah.
I saw a very angry McVay. He was trying to pick and choose certain words and not throw certain players under the bus. Once or twice he caught himself mid sentence and kind of switched up, which you only really get out of someone like him when they are emotional. And the mask is slipping. His coach speak almost slipped up there.
Yeah.
Stafford just pissed at himself, and then the other players just kind of seemed in shock. Like, what the fuck? Like, really? Like, how? Makes no sense. So yeah, no, I think they'll be fine, and I'm excited to break down the film and have that out tonight or tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one, man. The showcase will be out Wednesday night as we'll be previewing the Indianapolis Colts game. I got to go to work though. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna list players who straight up just had a killer day yesterday, man. Just guys who absolutely crushed it, man. I want to start with AJ Jackson.
Josh McCarty.
Joshua Cardi, man, he was killing it.
Still counts.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, the supporting cast let him down. Kickoff specialist of the year. Wow.
Yeah, best performance as a Ram so far. Give me Puna Ford.
That's a good one. Byron Young, he did sack another day. I can't remember if he had a sack, but he was all over in run defense. That was fun to watch.
He did. He was on fire. Yeah, give me Jared